Senua Saga Hellblade 2 is an upcoming dark fantasy action-adventure game developed by Ninja Theory and will be released as a Microsoft exclusive on their next-generation console. And fans have been waiting for this game since the original title, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, was released back in 2017. So let's break down everything we know about Hellblade 2, including the console exclusivity, setting, and release window. As always, all the sources will be linked in the description below, so make sure to check those out and support those writers. And with that out of the way, let's get into Hellblade 2. Let's jump into some quick history. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice was a timed PlayStation 4 exclusive and was released in August of 2017. And Xbox users got the game 1 year later in April of 2018, and the game even went on to be released on the Nintendo Switch in April of 2019. As I said, the game was developed and published by Ninja Theory, who had previously worked on 2013's Devil May Cry and a few Disney Infinity games. Yet this 20-person development team was able to create what they described as an independent AAA game using Unreal Engine 4. Now, when the game itself was released, it had a strong critical and commercial response. On OpenCritic, the game has an 82% of reviewers recommending the game and has a score of 83, while on Metacritic, the game has an 81 critic score and a 7.9 user score. And this translated to sales as well, where the game had sold 1 million copies 10 months after release, and that was before the Xbox or Nintendo Switch releases of the game, which is very impressive for an independent title. And fans did not have to wait too long to see what was next for this franchise, because the sequel was announced at the 2019 Game Awards with a trailer. And the trailer was interesting for a few different reasons. The first being is that the game is now a Microsoft exclusive, and more specifically an Xbox Series X exclusive, which is Microsoft's upcoming next-generation console. Now, as always, the game will be released on PC as well, which some fans were confused about, because the first marketing made it sound like it would only be releasing on the Xbox Series X, but that is not the case. Aaron Greenberg, the general manager of Xbox Games Marketing, also confirmed that Hellblade 2 will be available on Xbox Game Pass at launch as well, so if you are a subscriber of that, you can also play the game as soon as it launches. Another question fans had was in regards to Xbox marketing this trailer as running in-engine. Now, all this means is that the trailer itself was made using assets and tools within the game engine itself, rather than a completely separate cinematic trailer. Usually, when it's cinematic and not used in-engine, they will just try to copy the look of the game. Because this is in-engine, they are still trying to copy the look and get it to where it's not too much different than what people can expect in the real game, but it is closer than other trailers we have seen in the past for other franchises that go down that cinematic route. Digital Foundry has a whole video on the topic covering this trailer, what it means to be in-engine, and kind of comparing what we can expect in the game, so I will link that video down below if you are interested and want to hear an extended take on the subject. As for a release date, that was not given, but if we know the game is launching on Xbox Series X, and it is an exclusive, we also know that Microsoft had started to promote this game before the release of the console itself, so it's safe to assume it will be out sometime either right at launch or very close to the launch of the console itself. And I would say Microsoft wants the game to launch within the first year of the Series X. The new generation of consoles are launching late this year, so if we don't see Hellblade 2 release in 2020, late, either November or December, then I would expect an early to mid 2021 release date. As I said though before, this is not confirmed, we don't really know when they want this game to be launched, but I assume it would be within the first year. Then in July of 2020, we got even more information about the game during the Xbox Games Showcase.
Here at Ninja Theory, we're hard at work on all of our projects, including Senua Saga Hellblade 2, which we announced at the Game Awards back in December. An incredible 3.5 million players have now experienced Senua's story in Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. We're excited to start giving you an insight into what comes next for our Celtic warrior, an experience that we'll be building in Unreal Engine 5 for Xbox Series X and PC. I'm happy to reveal today that Senua Saga will be set in the beautiful country of Iceland. And you can find out more about our location scouting and how we've discovered the history of our setting in a brand new behind the scenes development diary, which you can view straight after the show on the Ninja Theory YouTube channel. It's been so touching to see the impact that Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice has had on so many players, and we're incredibly thankful to all of the fans that have been part of Senua's story so far. And we're excited for you to be part of our development journey from here on out.
They announced that the game will be using Unreal Engine 5. Originally, they thought the game was going to be running using Unreal Engine 4 because that is what the last game used, and Ninja Theory has a lot of practice working in that engine. But it looks like they were ready to take the challenge and try a new engine and really make this game feel next generation worthy. And that also makes the in-game trailer that much more interesting because they had to learn a new engine to create this game, and it looks like they've understood it and they're doing a really good job. The developer also announced that the game's location is set in Iceland, and to go along with that Iceland location, the team at Ninja Theory released a new episode of the Dreadnought Diaries to go through the process of developing Hellblade. And this specific episode goes into the process of creating Iceland within the game, a 9th century version that the character will be able to walk hundreds of miles in. They used over 40 real-world locations, converted them into the game from their time spent in Iceland, and they really wanted to make it feel like a worthy adaptation and make sure they were doing justice to this location. So they spent months and months there taking sounds, images, videos, whatever they could to make sure when they create this in-game, it'll be very similar to what you can see in the real world. And for the most part, that is everything we know about Hellblade 2. They've still been very secretive about gameplay, release dates, how long this game will be, and how they want this series to continue. The name itself now changing to Senua Saga instead of Senua Sacrifice is interesting, and it sounds like if they can, they'll keep this franchise going past even a second game. Potentially even 3rd and 4th titles could be coming as well. So hopefully we don't have to wait too much longer for the game, and we should see more about the game leading up to the release, which could be as soon as the end of this year, or at the latest, potentially late next year. The game will launch on PC and Xbox Series X, and we still aren't sure if this game will be a timed exclusive or not. I tend to think it will follow that trend and will most likely be on the PS5 at some point post-release. So PlayStation fans shouldn't have too much to complain about. You will most likely get this game at some point, we just aren't sure when. And this game looks a lot darker than the original title, and I'm really interested to see where they take the franchise. That's where I'm going to end this video. Make sure to like and share, subscribe for weekly gaming news, and I will see you guys in the next one.